Good afternoon and welcome to Orient Live here in the E10 studio. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined this afternoon by journalist Brendan Pitcher and making his full Orient Live debut, Richard Lewis. And of course the O's are desperate to get back to winning ways this afternoon as we face Doncaster here at the BetRight Stadium. So Richard, welcome, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, great to be here.
And a good game for you to be making your debut on today, and quite a big one for the O's today as well.
It is a big one, Definitely need a win. Obviously Cardiff, we thought we were going to win there and they're just so topsy-turvy. So many chances against Cardiff as well, so many chances, 26 opportunities, and to have that in a match and not win, very frustrating. So today, very important.
And it's the defensive side where you look at that Cardiff game, and to concede 4 away from home, never nice. I think conceded the most in the league. That's something that you're sure that the coaches and the analysts and Richie would have been looking at intensely.
Yeah, it's obvious to say considering we've conceded the most goals in the league this season, but the defence is the thing that's letting us down, because going forward we look as vibrant and as exciting as ever. I think in the front two in particular are brilliant players, but these aren't poor individual defenders. You look at them; they're all experienced League One players. The back two, especially of Edmonds, Green, and Beckles, were the ones that got us to Wembley this time 4 or 5 months ago. So I think it is purely just a confidence thing, because you don't forget how to defend overnight. They've clearly got the ability. So it's about finding the shape that suits them, getting their little bit of confidence back, and hopefully that starts today.
And in the shape of Doncaster, our opposition today, had a good start to the season. They were in the top half of the table, but they've had not the best of form recently. So it's an opportunity really for the O's to go out there and try and kick on.
I think you're absolutely right, yeah. I think it's a 7-point difference between Orient and Doncaster, and I think it is. But equally, they've been as inconsistent as Orient have been. And you just sense today is an afternoon where Orient can maybe just restart their season. And I just got a feeling today, I always like Orient Doncaster, because when I first started supporting Orient in '77, Peter Kitchen was the hero. Of course, Peter Kitchen, born in Doncaster, played for Doncaster, came to Orient. I think there's always a special vibe when it's Orient Doncaster. And he's probably here today, I would think, normally he is. And I just think it could be an occasion just to, maybe if we look back in a few months' time, you could think, this could be the weekend. It's just a feel about it. I've just felt this in the build-up of what everyone's been saying, that this could be a good start again.
And you imagine there'll be lots of goals, and that's what we want, an exciting game, and the 3 points would be an added bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't deny that Orient haven't been entertaining this season at the very least. There's been lots of goals, particularly that game in the last couple of weeks, the 2 league games against Stevenage and Cardiff. We haven't come out on the right end of it so far, which is obviously disappointing. But like I said before, attacking wise, we look a real threat. Even with the change in formation, the 5 at the back, you'd necessarily say, is it a little bit more conservative? Are they trying to shore it up? But we've seen in the last 2 games we've played that formation and we've been as attacking as ever. So yeah, expecting Orient to be good as ever going forward today.
Well, we'll come on to the starting lineup very shortly, but before we do that, let's hear from the main man, the gaffer, Richie Wellens. Richie, thanks for joining us. It's been a week now since that game against Cardiff. It's been a good one with a win on Tuesday night in the Virtu Trophy. What's your view of the response in training this week?
Well, the response has been great. Obviously, the training week has been a little bit lighter because of the game. But in our last 2 games, we've had 50 shots on goal. We've scored 5. We should have scored a lot more. And the performance levels have increased. Probably the last 4 or 5 games, actually. It's just at defensive moments we're lacking in our decision making and our authority to make sure we defend certain moments better. We've conceded 5 in the last 2, and it's like the opposition have had 7 shots on. So the percentages are not great, but we need to improve as a team. It's not just the defenders. It's very similar to last year, very, very similar. I remember last year we got beat 4-0 at home to Steve. It was 3-0 at home to Stevenage, 4-0 at home to Portsmouth, or whatever it was. But the signs are very, very similar. What I am seeing now is I'm seeing a team that looks pretty fluent. Not many teams will go to Cardiff and dominate the ball against them and have loads more chances. So I'm seeing improvement. I'm seeing more confidence from the players, and just reinforce that, keep going, and the results will start to come.
Looking at Tuesday night then quickly, Crawley provided quite a tough test at times. They looked like a good outfit, but we scored 2 good quality goals. And how good was it to get that winning feeling back in?
Yeah, I think it's important because winning breeds confidence, but it was more... I mean, we kick off. They've had the first attack. They score a great goal, but from our point of view, it's not a goal we should concede. So the response was good. The resilience was good. We dominated more or less the whole of the game. We should be scoring more than 2. But Crawley are a difficult team to play against. They do some weird and wonderful things. I really like Scott as a coach. I think he develops players and he plays an attractive style. But they are difficult to play against. And if you're indecisive in what you want to do, they can pick you off. And I think in the first 5 minutes we was indecisive. After that we was very aggressive and like I say, we dominated the game.
Top stuff, always great to hear from our Richie Wellings. Right then, let's take a look and see how the O's shape up. There's been a couple of changes from last Saturday's defeat to Cardiff, but let's run through all of them now. Obviously away on international duty with the England under-21s is Tommy Simpkins, so starting in goal is Killian Cahill. It's the back 3 again, but Jack Simpson comes in for Armani Edmonds-Green, and he is alongside Dan Happy and the captain Omar Beckles. In the midfield we have Idris El Mazouni and Tyreek Bakinson, with Charlie Wellings in that slightly more advanced midfield positions, with Teo Adaramola and Sean Clare in the wing-backs. And then it's the 2 up tops, the partnership of Aaron Connolly and Dom Ballard. And on the bench for the O's is Noah Phillips, Tom James, Romani Edmonds-Green, Dimitri Mitchell, Azim Abdullahi, Josh Karoma and Sonny Perkins. So, not too many changes, and Richie said in his interview actually, we weren't bad against Cardiff and no one really deserved to lose their spot, so hopefully, conceding goals aside, we want to pick up where we left off, scoring good goals and taking the game to the other team, and hopefully this team can do that.
I think you're right. I think at the start of the season people would have looked at Cardiff and thought, favourites to go up. So if Orient can go into Cardiff, have that many chances, score 3 times at the team that potentially could be the favourites to win the title, then you can come away even in defeat thinking, you know what, okay, we lost, but that's not as bad as it could be. But it's interesting, the front 2. I was reading about Don Ballard and the amount of clubs he's had recently on loan and never to be consistent enough, and he's settled in pretty well so far. So I think yeah, they could take a lot from Cardiff that could take into today.
And Richie said about the fluency as well, which we were touching on before we heard from Richie, but there is that feeling of it starting to click, and if we can then iron out the little niggly bits, we could start firing.
Yeah, it's such a fine line to balance in terms of the fact that obviously going forward we've been excellent, and even performance-wise in terms of the amount of shots we're taking, the amount of chances we're creating, we should be winning these games, and it is basically only because of defensive lapses we're not. But you don't want to be that team that always looks quite good and teams come away, like I saw a lot of Cardiff fans on social media last weekend saying, oh, they'll rise up the table, there's no way they should be in the lower reaches like we are at the minute. But you don't want to be that team. You want to change that immediately. You don't want to be the soft touch almost, to be that gets those performances but doesn't get the results. So it's about today, can we put in that typical Richie Wellens Orient home performance that I associate with his time here, where I think generally, especially when you look back at that League 2 title winning season, we'd go in, we'd get maybe 1 or 2 goals in front, and then it'd just be about game management, slow things down, play the style of football that just means takes the sting out of it, and we kept clean sheets with fun, and that's what I'm looking for today. Can we bring that game management side back, and can we bring that defensive stability back? But you've also got to balance not restricting the likes of Connolly and Ballard because they're in electric form at the minute.
That's the thing, and to go back to what you said as well, Richard, we've got 2 strikers who were signed as big names that people recognise. Don Ballard has been very highly rated through his youth career with the England set-up, and at Southampton, very highly rated. It's not often that Orient signed 2 strikers of such high profile that actually go on to start scoring goals, if you think back to some of the strikers we've signed over the years. But they both seem to have hit the ground running and getting goals and getting assists, and it's a good sign.
It is a good sign. That's why I'm impressed with us. Can you imagine starting a job 6 months later and you've got to start another job, and then 6 months after that start another job, all in different parts of the country? It's mad enough if you swap jobs in the same area or the same environment where you are, and then you've got to settle into do that and start. But equally, when you look back at last season, there's no panic here. You can feel that there's a good buzz around here because, of course, of what happened last season, the progress. So and we also forget it's still such early days. Would we rather be top of the table at this stage of the season? Everyone, of course, they would be. It doesn't mean if you're not top that you're going to have a dreadful season. So I just think a good couple of wins under our belt will just kickstart. And as you say, the strikers have settled in so well, and it is also new for the combination of everybody. Not as many wins as we wanted, but we don't see much panic here at the moment.
Not from us and not from the players.
Even
maybe.
from Richie when he talks.
No, definitely not from Richie.
No, it's not.
Maybe
it's
from
not.
some corners of the fans online. But hey, let's talk about Charlie Wellens as well, because we're talking about new players settling in. He's someone that's come in and he was crucial to everything we did last week.
Yeah, and I think what I've been most impressed with him is his intelligence on the pitch, in terms of he seems like he's always in the right place and he always makes the right choice. And he's obviously got a lot of technical ability. We saw that with some of his goals recently, the free kick particularly against Peterborough. He's got that in his locker. But when he's playing that number 10 position, sometimes you can get the ball a lot and you can be doing something amazing one time and then make a mistake and then lose the ball. But he never seems to do that. He knits it all nicely together. He gets into really good areas. I love when he gets into that kind of half space where the wing backs will bomb on and Connolly and Ballard will link the play and he just slips around the side and I think it was that's almost what he did for the winner against Port Vale in the last minute. It was just that intelligent bit of movement that I think, like I said, knits this team together and allows the likes of Connolly and Ballard to just go do their thing, and he causes problems and brings defenders out and gives them space as well.
And of course, I mean, we've actually got, if you want to call it a 2-1-2 in the midfield, in the 10 and the strikers, you've got two new signings in midfield. Obviously, we know what Idris is all about, but this is a totally different setup to last season, and we're talking about the fluency and clicking, but Idris El-Mazouni and Tyreek Bakinson, they're starting to get to know each other's games. I thought they both looked really smart against Cardiff, especially in that first half.
They did.
And that's another area where, settle down and start controlling games, as Brendan said about the playing how Richie plays. It's coming.
It certainly is. Defeated Cardiff, but we didn't get any points, but I didn't really see it as a defeat because I thought it was, there's so many positives you could take. Sometimes you get beaten and you think, you can take nothing from this game. But you can take so many positives. But it's a very good point you make about Charlie Wellens. I think he seems a really clever footballer, and he's in such a key position, linking so many different areas, and he's got something about him, I think, and an important role again to play today. Yeah,
definitely, and I think you both touched on a key point there in terms of the churn, the squad churn. Like, you wouldn't think normally a team has such a successful season like last season, you want to keep them all together and go again. Richie's had to rebuild and get another team, and I think just thinking about it, I think there's probably only 4 maybe players playing today that were in the squad last season. That's a lot of new players. Like, you speak about Idris, not quite a completely new face, but still he didn't play here last season. He didn't have those combinations, so it's going to take time to gel. I think perhaps some of the games earlier in the season where I look back, I think of like the Plymouth and the Wigan game in particular, I thought, wow, we've cracked it early this time. Like, Richie almost always has to rebuild because that's the nature of the squad building we've done recently, but I thought he'd got on top of it earlier. It hasn't quite worked out as smoothly as I was hoping, but there's signs there that when this team does click and we get it together, we can put in those kind of, like I said, the Richie Wellens type performances. When I think back, especially that Wigan game where we won 2-0 earlier in the season, that's the type of performance I associate with this team. I know Richie can put together, and the type of performance I want to see today.
Let's talk about the defence then in that back 5. Let's call it a 5 for now. I know that they play in the wing backs, but 3 out of the 4 who were in the squad last season are all starting at centre back. That brings some comfort. Yeah,
definitely, and I think Jack Simpson coming in today is a big plus. I think he physically adds a lot in terms of, I think he's on the front foot. He will not be too scared to put his foot in and win a tackle. And what we haven't mentioned so far is that we've been very poor defending set pieces. And so when you have Jack Simpson, Omar Beckles, Dan Happy, that immediately gives you the advantage. And then you look at Baconson coming in as well, Sean Clare. We've got height in there today, so I'd be very disappointed if we weren't switched on defensively from set pieces today. And it also works both ways, because if we do get a set piece going forward, we've got a lot of height in there for I think the likes of Connolly and Wellens to swing a ball in as well.
And let's talk about the final change then, really. Killian Cahill in goal is such a good opportunity for him. He looked very competent in that Port Vale fixture in the way where we won. He's got a big chance to come in and show Richie why he thinks he should be number one.
I think he has. And you know, as you were chatting there, I was thinking, what's more important today? If we left today with a 0-0, would we be happy because we've cracked it defensively, we haven't conceded a goal? Obviously, the goalkeeper is really important, but it is a great chance for him. And you know, of course, we want to win, but I think the key today, I think, is not conceding. If we do that, I think we'll come away thinking, yeah, you know, it's not as bad as it has been.
Well, clean sheet would be lovely. I'm sure Richie would be very happy with that as well. Now, just to remind you, if you're watching along live on our YouTube preview stream, then today's action is all available to follow here on Orient Live. If you're an international fan watching from overseas, you can pick up a pass for just £10 to watch along. Jordan Brown won't be playing, however, because he's in Blackpool, and we're also not playing Shrewsbury Town. That's the wrong graphic, but don't worry about that one. This game is still available on Orient Live. Audio passes to listen along with Dave and Matt are also available, so you can watch or listen. You can listen if you're from the UK as well. But now, before we go any further, let's hear from Mr. Dimitri Mitchell.
Obviously good to get a win after a few difficult results. First half was figuring them out, and then I think second half we showed our quality and what we can do, so yeah, it was nice to get a win. Yeah, it's something I've done many times before. It's probably one of my favourite positions to play, coming in onto my left foot, so comfortable there, can get forward, defend obviously as well, so I enjoy it there, yeah. I think it was breaking away and through DJ, through ball, set it back to Charlie. There's a little bit of bobbling around in the box and then just fell to me. Obviously on my left foot, I trust myself, so that's why I like playing off the right sometimes. So yeah, that was it really. Yeah, you know, it'll be a good test. We know that they're going to come be direct, put it on us. So, you know, we've got to first and foremost be ready for the challenge, and then obviously after that we've got to make sure that we play our football as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the test. Got a win under our belt now. Moves a bit better in the camp, so hopefully we can get the win on Saturday. We know we've got the quality in the squad. The attacking players have showed that in recent weeks. You know, we've not kept them out as well as we should have and could have due to certain moments in the game, not being good enough in certain moments. But you know, once we sort that out, you know, we've got a lot of good attacking options and it's shown that in the recent weeks. So, you know, we get better in them moments, and then we should be picking up some wins. It's a squad game at the end of the day. It's not the 11 that's starting. It's, you know, 23, 25 man squad. So, you know, for over the course of the season, you can't rely on 11 starters. You need to rely on the whole squad, and having good players, a numerous amount of good players in each position is vital. The lads are top. Good mix of lads, young lads, older lads. Different cultures, different backgrounds, so it's a really top group, one of the better environments I've been in at League One level, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. You know, the support is top, so I wouldn't say there's much more they could do. They're always behind us, they're always backing us. The home games, we can definitely hear them. Obviously away games is more difficult, but you know, we see them in the section of the crowd, so just keep supporting us, keep being behind us, and the wins will come, man, for sure, definitely.
Is lunch at work awesome? If so, tune out now. If not, keep listening. Picture this: chef-made meals from local restaurants brought right into your workplace. No sad sandwiches, no tired menus. By tapping into the local restaurant scene, Fuda powers workplace dining for companies across the US, giving teams flavor, convenience, and authenticity. Half of Glassdoor's best places to work have partnered with Fuda. Is your team ready to upgrade its workplace food scene? Find out how at Fuda.com. That's FOODA.com.
10 minutes to go until kick-off, so let's turn our attention to the visiting side, and it's Grant McCann's Doncaster, who are here in E10, looking to get back to a good run of form themselves. But starting in goal for Donny is Lawler. Then if we head across, sorry, apologies, bear with me. There we go, so we have Lawler in goal. Across the back line we have Connor O'Riordan, Jay McGrath, Thomas Nixon and Jack Senior. In midfield is Ben Close, Joe Sabara and the captain, Owen Bailey. Luke Molyneux and Jordan Gibson are in the wide positions, and Billy Sharp leads the line for Doncaster as well. And on the bench is Timothy Lowe-Tatala, James Maxwell, Matthew Pearson, George Broadbent, Robbie Gotts, Glenn Middleton and Brandon Hanlon. So that is how the visitors line up this afternoon. And Richard, I know we've spoke about it already, but Doncaster in identical form to us in the last 4 games, and they probably look at us on paper and go, this is a good opportunity for us to go and pick up some points.
They probably do. With Billy Sharp in the side, okay, he's not the youngest of players on the side, but the experience he's got and his ability to put the ball away is going to be a big danger. But they probably do. But equally, they've been as inconsistent recently as Orient have been. They come here hopeful, but I don't think it'll be their day.
Billy Sharp, definitely not the youngest player in the team. I think probably the oldest player in the league, at least one of, 39 years old for him. He's the one where you look at kind of the back three for Orient today. He'll, with his just know-how, will be maybe asking us questions. Do you expect him to go a bit direct, Doncaster? What are you expecting from him?
Yeah, I watched a bit of their game against Burton last weekend, and probably a different scenario in terms of a game against Burton. You're going to go and be at home and expect to dominate possession and try and win. They only came away with a 1-1 draw in that game, and I think they were very disappointed because they were 1-0 up at one point. They had a number of chances, but they just couldn't put the ball away. But they looked like a tidy, possession-orientated League One side who had a number of good technical players. I think I really liked Luke Molyneux, who was probably the best player in League Two last season. They've got their captain Owen Bailey this season, who has popped up with a number of late winners. So they've got capable players, but I think in terms of when you're talking about stature, where they are at this moment in time, budget-wise, I think it's one of those where Orient have got to look at it and be like, if we want to do something this season, if we want to challenge like we did last season, these are the games you expect to be winning. Absolutely.
You look at their goals conceded and against, 11 goals scored, 12 conceded. Not the leakiest of defences. They're fairly tight in one box. Not the most free-flowing in the other. They're one of the lowest scorers in the top half of the table, that's for sure. So do you expect it to be a bit of a cagey one today?
The thing is, it could well be, but as you were talking, I was thinking of someone like Billy Sharp. You know, when you're 39, do you prepare in the dressing room now thinking, you know, do you have the same enthusiasm? Do you have that same hunger? Maybe you do. It must be incredible. What, 20-year career, consistently scored for so many good clubs. Does he come out here? I wonder when he last played at Orient, to be honest. And in terms of, it could be tight. They seem certainly tougher to break down than Orient are at the back. But again, if Sharp's not on form, maybe it'd be a good day for Orient.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at some of the goals they've scored this season so far. Where do you think those need to be switched on defensively today?
I'd prefer it if Killian Cahill didn't do what the Wickham goalkeeper has just done in that clip. But yeah, I think especially those late runs, I think is a key thing. I think Owen Bailey has probably been their best player this season, and he's a player that plays in the heart of midfield, and like we're seeing here, a couple of goals is from kind of the edge of the box. That's a goal from Billy Sharp, where the kind of goal you expect them to score. But as crosses here, they're pressing, they're winning the ball back, and I think there's a lot of different threats here that we're seeing, and I don't think there's one particular threat I'd pinpoint.
But you've got to say on those goals, some of the marking was terrible. It really was, and they almost deserved to concede goals, the opposition, because there was a couple that were well taken, but every goal they seem to have acres of space, and Orient can't afford to allow that to happen.
Well, that was kind of teeing up my next question quite nicely, because you think back to the Cardiff game and other moments this season where maybe at times we've struggled a little bit in terms of defending our box, stopping the balls from coming in, and actually, you know, stopping that danger. Does it make you a bit nervous?
A little bit. I think a lot of those goals there, like we're seeing, were crosses into the box, and they're moments where if the defender is aware and is concentrating and is in the zone almost, they stop it, they cut it out at source. And especially when you've got the 3 centre-backs that we have today, where there's going to be more than enough bodies in there up against the likes of Doncaster only having one striker, so it's going to be about just defending those late runs, because Billy Sharp's going to be marked by basically 3 men most of the time, and it's about being aware, hopefully, that there's a communication there where you don't know who the middle centre-back will be, but you'd expect probably Omar Beckles or Dan Happy can command and be like, this is my man, and then you pick up how you have to, and the likes of Bakinson and El Mazouni will also have to be aware and tracking their runners as well, because it was a lot of late runs into the box. It wasn't as much as kind of let's hit the striker all the time.
Fans piling in now, the atmosphere's building. You think got the DJ in the corner blasting out the music. Brendan, we was enjoying that one earlier, but it's building, and Richard, it's a big opportunity for the O's here to try and, as you said earlier, really kickstart our season.
Yeah. The thing is, they're gelling together. They have gelled together. There's been some great moments. I wouldn't want to be top of the table at this stage of the season, honestly, because I'd rather be top than bottom. You know what I mean? I'd rather just slowly progress as we've shown, and if we can get 3 points today, we could look back on this in a few months' time and say this was the day. It's
time to make a statement, isn't it, Brendan?
Yeah, I think I always quite enjoy when we play on international break weekends, because there's a little bit of extra attention on you. If we can go out here and put in, like you say, a statement performance, that typical Richie Wellens performance, then everything will start to look a bit more rosier in the Orient Garden.
Well, the players are making their way out on the pitch here to the tune of Tijuana Taxi, so let's hand over to the very capable hands of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
In all competitions up until Tuesday night, when Leyton Orient overcame Crawley here and Doncaster Rovers won at Grimsby, and both managers, Matt, will be hoping